Hello and welcome back to Now Go See It. I'm Tony. Today we're exploring Cape Town, South Africa. After 11 days of sailing the Indian Ocean coast with Norwegian Cruise Lines, visiting Mauritius, Madagascar, and 3 other ports across South Africa, my cruise pulled into its final stop, Cape Town, South Africa. If you're looking for details on those stops, I've got full port guides right here on the channel or at nowgoseeit.com. But there's no time for bittersweet reminiscing today. I've got just over 24 hours before my flight home tomorrow morning, and I'm trying to squeeze in as much of Cape Town as humanly possible. I'm told disembarkation in Cape Town isn't exactly seamless. It's slow and the traffic around the cruise port gets bad very fast. Plan ahead, especially if you're hoping to beat the crowds. Hi, is this just the way out?
This is the terminal.
Okay. Once out of the secure port area, I grabbed an Uber, dropped my bags at my hotel, and was back in the car heading straight for my first stop, Boulders Beach. The drive to Boulders Beach from central Cape Town takes about 45 minutes. It's a straight shot down the coast with some pretty incredible scenery along the way. If you've got time, you can keep going all the way to the tip of the Cape of Good Hope. I didn't, but it's definitely on the list for next time. Boulders Beach is famous for its colony of African penguins. These little guys are also called jackass penguins because of the noise they make. It sounds like a donkey brain. The colony moved into the area back in the 1980s, and the site has been part of a conservation effort ever since. The beach is managed by Table Mountain National Park. There's a fee to enter, about 190 Rand, which is about $10 US. That gets you access to the elevated boardwalks and viewing areas. You're not allowed on the beach where the penguins are, but you'll get pretty close. There are bathrooms, a small cafe, and a visitor's center with info about the birds, plus a gift shop loaded with penguin merch. This is the Boulders Beach Penguin Colony. Look at all these little guys back there. They're all hanging out, doing their penguin things, looking cute. Good stuff. When I arrived, it was extremely windy, like sand in your mouth windy. But the trade-off was that there were hardly any crowds. Just a few other visitors and dozens of penguins out on the beach bracing themselves against the gusts. Some were huddled low to the ground, others were waddling around without a care in the world. I took a short trail into the denser vegetation and found a few penguins tucked into the brush. That's also where I spotted a dassie, also known as a rock hyrax. It's this chunky little furball that looks like a guinea pig, but is actually more closely related to an elephant. While it did burn a lot of time, it was a must-see for me and an amazing way to see penguins in the wild. Next up, Table Mountain. If you're going to ride the cable car, book online and pay for Fast Track. The regular line is slow, the sun is hot, and there's almost no shade. Fast Track gets you into a separate entrance, up an elevator, and right into the platform. It's about $15 US more, but if you're on a tight schedule, it's the only way to do it. The cable car is built with a rotating floor. As you ascend, the platform inside slowly spins so everyone gets a full panoramic view. You're climbing about 3,500 feet, or about 1 kilometer up to the top. The ride takes just under 5 minutes, and the rotation makes the whole thing feel more like a ride than just a lift. You're looking out at Lion's Head, the city bowl, the ocean. It's a very impressive trip up. At the summit, the landscape completely changes. It's this wide, flat expanse of rocks with marked paths, viewing platforms, and interpretive signs. There's a cafe, a restaurant with outdoor seating, and a gift shop. I spent about 45 minutes up there. You could easily spend a lot more time, especially if you hike some of the longer trails, but I had a packed schedule. I took in the views, grabbed a quick snack, and headed down the mountain. From there, I took an Uber to Bo-Kaap. This is the Bo-Kaap neighborhood. Brightly colored houses line the cobblestone streets, but it's more than just picture perfect. It's also home to the Malay culture here in Cape Town. It's one of the most photographed neighborhoods in Cape Town because of its brightly painted buildings. But it's not just the backdrop. This area has a long and complicated history tied to Cape Malay culture and the legacy of slavery in South Africa. I visited the Isku Bo-Kaap Museum. It's small, just a couple of rooms, but it gives some context about the people who live there. No video was allowed inside, so you'll have to check it out for yourselves. A few doors down is Atlas Trading Company, a spice shop that's been open for generations. This place is exactly what you want it to be. Sacks of spices, handwritten labels, and employees who know their stuff. I picked a couple of Cape Malay curry blends to bring home. I grabbed lunch nearby at Bocap Deli. I had a wrap filled with grilled chicken, lettuce, tomato, and Cape Malay inspired dressing. It was really good. I visited the latter for a little coffee pick-me-up. Both spots are fast, affordable, and not overloaded with tourists. After lunch, I walked down Long Street. It's known for bars, clubs, and old buildings with wrought iron balconies. But there's also some good shopping. I did light browsing, bought a couple of handmade crafts from some of the large craft vendors. I discovered Why So Serious, a quirky little ice cream and cereal bar that lets you pick cereal to mix into your ice cream. It's ridiculous, but in a fun way. I had a bowl with local ice cream and some crunchy cereal mixed in. Worth the stop. After that, I headed into the company's garden. It's this large public park surrounded by historic buildings. I started at St. George's Cathedral, which is historically significant. Desmond Tutu led services here, but to be honest, it's not much to look at. The wooden arch outside is cool though. Once inside the gardens, you'll see colonial monuments, war memorials, a few fountains, and lots of very friendly squirrels. This is company's garden in... Hi. What do you need? What? I don't have anything for you. Squirrels are very friendly. At the far end of the garden, I visited Isku South African Museum. It's clearly in the middle of a slow transition. Some of the exhibits are modern and interactive. Others feel like 1972 and smell like dust. This is the Isku South African Museum. It's a pretty massive collection of taxidermy animals. I would say that it would make Norman Bates blush. There are stuffed animals behind scratched plexiglass that haven't aged well. But there are also dinosaur bones, cultural exhibits, and newer science installations that show where the museum is trying to go. They also have some very full-scale whale skeletons hanging above. It's inexpensive to visit, so it's worthwhile to stop in, even if it's just to support the museum's modernization efforts. Located just outside the company garden is the Isku Slave Lodge Museum. It covers the history of slavery in South Africa. It's one of the more sombering and important museums in the city. The museum is powerful. I wish I had longer inside to forge a deeper understanding of the exhibits, but what I did see stuck with me. I also visited the District 6 Museum. It's dedicated to the neighborhood that was forcefully cleared during apartheid. From there, I walked to the Castle of Good Hope. This is the Dutch colonial star fort built in the 1600s. Unfortunately, it was only open until 4 p.m., so I didn't go all the way inside. Just walked the courtyard and checked out the walls. It's an impressive fort just from the outside. Next up, Green Market Square. The square hosts a daily market with art, crafts, textiles, and everything else you could possibly want to pack in your suitcase. But be warned, the vendors are intense. They will follow you, they will start selling to you before you even look at something. If you hate that kind of pressure, maybe skip it. If you're ready to bargain and have a sense of humor about it, you might walk away with something cool. As the sun started to set, I headed to the V&A waterfront. It's a massive waterfront development filled with restaurants, shops, hotels, and attractions. This is the Victoria and Albert Waterfront Mall. It's gigantic. It's like every store you can possibly think of. It keeps going and going and going. It's absolutely gigantic. I walked through the main mall, stopped by the Watershed Market for some design-forward goods, and looped through the Time Out Market where you can grab a bite or a drink from any number of local vendors. I skipped the Two Oceans Aquarium, but popped over to the Oranjezicht City Farm Market. This is a farmer's market with a mix of produce, food stalls, and boutique goods. I didn't eat there, but it was fun to walk through and soak up the energy. The crowd definitely skews more young and hip than what you'll find at V&A. It's open various days of the week during the summer, usually on weekends and select Wednesdays. I wrapped up the night at Mojo Market in Sea Point. If the waterfront feels curated for tourists, Mojo feels like Cape Town for Cape Town. There's live music, plenty of seating, and at least a dozen food options. I had an Indonesian rice bowl from House of Nasi Goreng, Hong for short. Super flavorful, generous portion, and quick. After dinner, I headed back to my hotel, packed my bags, and set my alarm for a painfully early flight out. So let's recap. In one day, I saw penguins, a cable car that spins, a mountaintop, a historic neighborhood, 3 museums, a colonial fort, a park full of squirrels, markets, 2 food halls, and a bowl of spicy rice I'm still thinking about. If that's not making the most of my 24 hours in Cape Town, I don't know what is. And that sums up our time in Cape Town, South Africa. If you found this video useful, give it a like. If you want to see more travel content like this, follow us. And you can visit our website, nowgosee.com, for full travel guides for Cape Town and around the world. Now go see Cape Town, South Africa.